of the most exciting things about racing each and every weekend is that every weekend's a new opportunity. You know, right before you roll off, I always think like, I'm one of 40 of us that's gonna win. You know, that's pretty cool. So I think understanding that, it can get you motivated.
I feel like we all individually have our ways of building confidence. I just try to reflect on, you know, where I'm at and where I came from. This is where I'm at for a reason, and I earned the right to be here.
I think for us is having situational awareness of what's going on, understanding the task at hand, the big picture. You know, you're in the moment and things can go south quick. We can't make mistakes. You know, we have to be on it each and every weekend, each and every lap. To me, a good pit stop, I can feel it sitting inside the car. It's just the motion, you know? It's like, oh, I was up on the right for a short amount of time, that was good. Ooh, they're getting around the car really fast. I'm up on the left for a short amount of time, then you're out. It's like, dang, that felt fast.
We move the same every time. You want to be consistent, and I feel like consistency is what everybody wants to see, that where they can trust you, is how consistent you are.
It is a fine line because everybody has to know their limit. You want to get just to the limit where you're almost out of control, but you can control it. And a lot of times in practice, we'll do speed training where we'll just go as fast as we can go to try and find that line.
But it's those moments where I should be down by now, but we're still up. It's like, dang. And when it's off sync, you can definitely tell.
In our industry, right, we're measuring by tenths of seconds. To us, a tenth of a second feels almost like a second to a normal person because we're seeing everything happen so quickly. It's like at that moment, you're just like, holy cow, that felt like it took forever, but it was really a 10.5 when it should have been a 9.8. That amount of time will lose you spots in pit road.
I'm paying attention, but I'm not. It's all a blur. When they're fast, it's really a blur.
Well, I played defensive end.
Was over in Europe for a little bit playing soccer.
I was a high school wrestler. I did a little bit of everything.
I'm an edge rusher, so I'm basically turning the corner. That's kind of dissimilar to what I do around the car.
Having that all-around athletic background definitely helps because, I mean, we do a lot of different athletic movements.
I got into NASCAR through a Drive for Diversity program.
I went to a race and I was like, what do those guys down there in the pits do?
I had a connection that was moving to a new team. They were looking to put together former collegiate athletes, former professional athletes, semi-pro.
Another team approached me and said, hey, would you like to do our recruit and development program? And I was 17 at the time. I said, sure.
Something that Adam always tells me is forward together. Forward together is how we, continue to just pull each other up, pull ourselves together, keep pushing to get through the season, on a high note.
You know, it is a long season and we're eventually gonna mess up, right? Everybody does. So we have to learn how to pick each other up.
Jordan always likes to tell us, staying present.
You're only as good as your next race. So whether the week before you had a stellar day, it doesn't matter. When you show up the following Sunday, you have to be ready for what's at hand.
So whatever just happened, let it go. The moment that we're about to do is the thing we're about to step out to do, so make that great.
There's a lot of prep. I don't really think anybody on the team stops working. Prep work for races starts weeks ahead. Our sport has transitioned to engineering and data-driven sport.
Through SMT, we're able to see the driver's lines, the different cars' lines, the throttle application, steering input.
It's a lot of data that at times when you get into it, it becomes a lot. And so you have to be prepared.
I use a lot of that to get most of the way there. And then that last little bit, when I need to find a little bit more, for sure, I kind of tap into that gut feel, if you will, or just go for it.
I kind of go off natural instincts, but it's there as a tool in the back of your mind, right? To be able to use and utilize all the information that's given to you, because you're gonna learn something each and every day, each and every lap on the racetrack. So as much as you sometimes don't wanna listen, it's vital information.
So when we get to the racetrack, we know how hard to push and what exactly to expect out of our race cars.
Prep for a race weekend starts usually weeks ahead. whether that's simulation work, starting to get data collected for analytics review, film debrief.
There's a lot of really interesting details to cover. And the team does a really good job of streamlining that process so that me and Bubba can really get to the protein of it, if you will, instead of chewing on all the fat that there is as you go through hours and hours of film.
The mechanics are the unsung heroes of our race team. Each and every day, there's a project that they're working on, different sections of the race car, to be better each and every day leading up to the race. Any feedback, any input that I can give helps guide the direction for them and which way they want to go.
Throughout the week, we practice. We just go through situations that we would experience at the racetrack.
Sometimes when we have practices, we just tell the whole team, like, we're coming down first, we're coming down second, we're coming down fifth, just to try to get ourselves in that mindset of, okay, this is a big stop, this is a big opportunity.
When it comes to preparation, we pretty much have all bases covered. I've worked with a lot of spotters over the years, and me and Nick Payne, this is our first year together. More than anything, you just gotta have trust. You have to respect each other. Not have any doubt in my mind when he says clear or he says outside, and listen to those decisions and how he calls the race.
With the limited amount of practice, basically what you have from the shop is what you're gonna race. You can only fine tune so much. As much as that first run, it's just me in control until the pit stops happen or a caution comes out.
It's so important to trust that your driver's gonna hit his mark, right? For you to go out and replicate that fast stop each time.
I mean, a car is coming 45 miles an hour and has to stop on a dime, and you're jumping in front of it, right? We know how to react. We rely on our training to help us react, to jump out of the way and still do your job the way that it needs to be done.
Once you jump off the wall, you don't even think, you just reacting to what you're seeing.
The driver and the crew chief know, like, I can trust these guys if I have to make a decision that maybe we weren't expecting to make, and we're not going to lose anything. So obviously trust is a major factor in all that.
It's still very much a team effort. We have so much data on the pit boxes now that the crew chief and engineers are feeding the information to Freddie, who is feeding it to me on how to be better, how to be faster, right? So I think it's very important for everybody to be on their game as soon as the green flag drops.
Our car was this fast Xfinity 10G, and well, it's the Xfinity 10G car, so I think that fits pretty well.